Hello, Sheikh Fatima. Good morning. Kennedy Festus. Good morning. Eric Osadolo. Lanon Adebayo. Pearl David. Bosse Fayajola. Shigon Wafo. Mayowa Precise. Daniel Oshoma. Shola Ungwe. Comfy here. Terry Baker. Fulera Jafaru. Simadeep Singh. Flair Karen Matip. Ufoma Nigoro. Ola Martin. Oshuko. Okole Emeka. Olugbenga Oyeka. Ajayi Amaka. Hirpaya. Olukayode. Akundayo. Oluwaleye Donse. Miranda. Ugo Emeka. Daniel Adeleke. Well, nice to see all of you again. Here we go, continuing to talk about our topic for today and for this week. And we are talking about the right and wrong understanding of love. Right and wrong understanding of love. Right and wrong understanding of love. And today, I'm going to be focusing on the wrong understanding of love. The wrong understanding of love. I spoke yesterday about what is your understanding. Yesterday, I spoke about understanding. And today, by the way, if some of you missed out on yesterday morning's message, if you where I was picking up when I was speaking about the soul ties, if you miss out on the message on soul ties, I think it was yesterday morning or day before yesterday evening. Okay, I think it was day before yesterday's evening. I was talking about soul ties. If you miss out on that, look for it. Do anything you need to do to go look at it, to go and get that message on soul ties. Those messages will really, they will go a long way to helping you understand this whole series. All right, and so today we are talking on the wrong understanding of love. Yesterday was on understanding, but today is the wrong understanding of love. And like I said, understanding determines everything. Understanding determines how we behave. Understanding determines our worldview. Understanding determines our actions. Understanding determines, our response to life situations, our attitude, and all that. So understanding is very important. Now, talking about love, what is the wrong understanding of love? What is wrong? What understanding of love will be a wrong one? And before I go into that, I'm saying that someone is congratulating Amaka. So I understand Amaka is having a birthday today. So Amaka, allow us to join you today and congratulate you for this your birthday. Blessings on you. We release the grace and the blessings of God on you, the mercy and the favor of God, that God will elevate you to the place of your dream and even beyond the place of your dream. that God will grant you mercy, favor, and His glory will reflect upon your life more and more on a daily basis. So, happy birthday, Amaka. Happy birthday. So what is wrong understanding of love? Wrong understanding of love is when we have our own belief about how love is supposed to be or what love is supposed to be. And it is as a result of what we've been taught or what we have made up in our mind or what has been sold to us by the media or by, by cinema, by the movie industry or by the books we have read. Or it could actually be an understanding of love as was sold to us by our friends or our relatives or people around us or our family or in the environment where we grow up. So that could be where our own understanding of love is coming from. But what makes it wrong? What is the wrong understanding of love? What is the wrong understanding of love? I try to drink this coffee fast because I don't want to get distracted. So I want to finish it as fast as possible. So, what is the wrong understanding of love? What understanding of love is faulty? And what makes it wrong? What makes it faulty? Unfortunately, what we call love is seldom love. It's most of the time not love. It's most of the time just wrong understanding. A lot of the things that we call love is actually egocentrism. A lot of the things that we call love is egoism and egocentrism. Sometimes we call parasitism, parasite love as well. So we call codependence and parasite, we call it love. And many other things we call love that is not love. For example, let me give you, I think I'm just going to go ahead and give you some points, some understanding of love that we have that might not be accurate. One, most of us think that if somebody loves us, that person must always make us happy or keep us happy. Is that right? Yes, it is possible that when somebody loves us, that is part of love for sure. It is true that love keeps you happy. Love brings happiness. And if you really love somebody, you want them to be happy and you want to keep them happy. But you also agree that that is just an aspect of love. If that is your own understanding of love, I'm sorry, you are going to be very disappointed in life. And that love is going to be very painful because sooner or later you will be thinking that somebody is hurting you. That is going to be very hurtful because it's not true. That is not just about love. Love will not always keep you happy. So if your understanding of love is that if he loves me, he must keep me happy, you are missing a point there. And that love is going to turn to hate. That love is going to turn to hatred sooner or later. So the concept that is coming from Europe these days that says, and America actually, from the West, that says that parents don't have the right to discipline or punish or beat their children is a very dangerous policy that is going to hurt the future of Europe. It's going to definitely have a terrible effect on the destiny and on the future of European continent and on American continent, because that school of thought is saying that parents don't have authority to punish or to rebuke or to chastise their children, which means you as a parent, you only have the right to do good things to your children. You only have the right to give them joy, to give them, something pleasant, to make them happy. So as a parent now, your daughter or your son, your duty to them is to feed them and to keep them happy. That is wrong. And that's going to be dangerous. That's going to have a boomerang effect years to come. In the next 100 years, it's going to have a dire consequence on the continent. And the reason is very simple. When you don't smack your children, when you cannot beat your children or punish them, when you only do what is pleasant to them, when you are not allowed to rebuke them or make them cry, and when they tell you that is love, that is a very faulty and wrong understanding of love. You guys have to bear with me until I finish drinking this coffee. If you don't punish your children, if you don't whip them, if you don't smack them, you are bringing up catastrophe in the future. You are going to reap up very, very bad things. Yeah, here we go. So what happens is this. Let us imagine a family where children are not being spanked, corrected, rebuked, or punished. So let us imagine those kind of children that are never punished, they are never been rebuked, they are never been corrected. And the only thing their parents do to them is just to make them happy, Because if they try to beat them or to make them cry, these children will go to the social service or to the government and complain. And they even have the right to arrest the parents. Okay? So what will happen? Let me first of all give you a simple example. Just imagine you feeding your children only with sweets. For breakfast, you give them chocolate. For lunch, you give them cake. And for evening, you give them dessert. So you feed them like that every day. So they never eat meat, they never eat fish, they never eat rice, they never eat bread, they never eat any carbohydrate. They never eat any real food. They don't even go to McDonald's. They only eat sweet, chocolate, dessert, and cake. Morning, afternoon, evening. If that's what you are doing, if that is what you are doing, and you think that is loving your children because that's what they like, because it is sweet, you just want to give them sweet life. I think in the next 1 year, those children or that child will take sick. That child will get sick very badly. And it will not just get sick. That child will be having so many troubles with the health because all the food that we eat are actually the things that form our tissues. They form our bones. The things that we eat, they go ahead to form our cell system. So they help develop our cell, our bones, our tissues, and just all the particles of our body. Now, can you now begin to imagine when the bone is being formed out of sweet, cake, and dessert? Nothing hard, nothing qualitative, just those are the things going in. Sweet is like building a house, it's like building a house with sand. If you build a house only with sand, with sand without brick, no cement, nothing, just sand. If you build a house just with sand, what happens to it? It doesn't have strong structure. No metal, no iron, no steel, no brick, nothing, just sand. The very first rain that falls will destroy the house. You don't even need to wait for flood. Ordinary rain will destroy it. So a house of sand doesn't last. A house of sand is a catastrophe waiting to happen. The same thing with somebody that is being fed only sweet, chocolate, and dessert, and never ever eat real food. So the bones are weak, the tissues are faulty, the cells are damaged, and so that person will be sickly every time, and any little thing that happens, that child will be dying, will be sick. That child will never get out of hospital. Even if it is just 1 year you feed like that, you are killing your child. You don't love that child. You are killing that child. It's the same thing when we bring it to life. When we bring and apply that principle to life, what it means in real life is that if you say love, which is wrong understanding of love, love is that I only do what is pleasant to somebody I love. If your own understanding of love is that, and that is what the governments of the Western countries are trying to tell us, that by saying never beat your child, never discipline your child, never spank your child, never cane him, never chastise them, because they must use. So they are trying to tell you, just keep them happy, keep your children happy. So what that means is that it's like feeding that child only with dessert and only with chocolate and sweets. It's like never mixing the food of that child with real food and with solid food. So what is going to happen is that the consequences of that is that that child that is not being punished, that is not being spanked, that is not being smacked, that is not being disciplined, that child will grow up happy. But that child will grow up not just spoiled, but that child will grow up with a mindset. And you know what mindset? That child will grow up with a mindset that love means pleasant. They will grow up with the mindset that says love means pleasure. So they will not be able to function in real life. Because when one day they will grow up, that child will grow up, and that child will leave the father's umbrella. That child will leave the father's house. And when that child leaves that father's house, they will need to have an encounter with real life. And you know what? In real life, nobody knows how you are taught. Nobody knows either you've been punished before or you've never been punished before. Real life is tough. No matter what life, is it in Europe or in Africa, life is tough. Right? Life is not a walk in the park. So that child that has never been disciplined, that child that has never been punished and that has never been made to cry and to experience pain, that child will enter into the real life and into the real world where it's very painful. In real life, it is very painful and it's very cruel in real life. The Bible says that the whole earth lies in wickedness. The whole earth lies in wickedness, in evil. So there are so many, there are so many factors of pain and factors that bring pain and sorrow to you on daily basis in real life. I mean, okay, in real life you will encounter, so what they have done in your house, if the government is telling us don't beat the child, don't spank the child, it means don't inflict pain on the child. So they are telling us we should not inflict pain on the child. But in the real sense, the attempt to save a child or even an adult from pain will only result in a worse amount of pain. It will only result in greater pain. Because let's say, for example, a child grows up in a family where he's never experienced pain. He doesn't, know what is pain because they don't beat him, they didn't scold him, they didn't reprimand him. They just let him grow happy. Life is wonderful, be happy, and that is their own understanding of love. That everybody must relate to me to make me feel good, to make me feel pleasant, and life is about enjoyment. So if such a child like that is not used to pain, what happens when it goes out of the umbrella of his house? What happens when it goes out of the umbrella of the family? It will go into the real world where there is pain. Our world is full of pain. Now, what are the consequences of that? That child will begin to avoid anything that is painful. First of all, that is detrimental to that child himself, because even to give birth to any success, to give birth to any achievement, to have any success whatsoever, there is no success that is without pain. Every kind of success is painful. So if a child grows up and he becomes an adult and he says, no, pain is bad, with that mentality that pain is bad, you will always be avoiding anything that ends up in pain. You are used to avoiding anything that is painful. And if you keep on avoiding anything that is painful, you will never come to discovery. You will never come to discover yourself, because there is nothing in this life that is given birth to without pain. Everything that is worthwhile, anything that comes to discovery is being discovered in pain. For you, even if you are going to do research, you need the pain of discipline to sit down and do research. Even if you are going to read a book, you need the pain of discipline to sit down and read that book through. Even if you are going to work, work 8 hours every day is painful. It's painful. It's not a walk in the park. So to go to work and working 8 hours every day, that is pain. Everything in life is painful. Everything is so. If a child grows up and is not used to pain, and is not used to enduring pain, and is not used to persevering, and is not used to building stamina through pain, that child will become a vegetable through life. That child will become a vegetable through life. That is one of the greatest disservice that you could do to your children, not to punish them, not to rebuke them, not to correct them. So that is a wrong understanding. That is a wrong understanding of love. Wrong understanding of love says love is only something pleasant. So another thing is that, let me finish that point, that there is nothing worthwhile, there is nothing noble that is given birth to without pain. Even as a girl, every woman that is here will understand me. If do you know now that in the West, especially in Germany and Scandinavian countries and other places, do you know that women are now refusing to give birth to children? Women now, they want to marry. I have a friend of mine that fell in love with this girl. Oh, he fell in love with the girl head on. He's an African. And she's a German girl, Christian, born-again girl. And he's a born-again guy as well. And They met, fell in love, and they were dating. They dated like for 2-3 years. Then after 2-3 years, they began to plan their wedding. And they had met their parents, they had met his parents, her parents, and they have all agreed, and their pastors, and everybody knew that these people are going to marry. So now it got to a place where they needed to prepare for marriage. And then they began to talk about how many children are we going to have, how many children are we going to have, and all that. And you know what the girl said? No, I want to marry you not for children. I'm not going to have children. I don't plan to have children. I love you. I don't want to have children. Why? Oh, because children means pain. She knows that having children means having pain, because you have to be you have to be pregnant for 9 months. That's pain. It's not just pain for one time. It's pain every day for 9 months. And then after that, you have to go through the horrible pain of delivery. And then after that, you have to spend the next 10 or 20 years of your life suffering pain and enduring the pain of bringing up that child. So there are so many girls like that. Anyway, of course, you can guess how that relationship ended. The African man wants to have a child. The African man wants a child. So they broke up the relationship. But that is because that man is an African. But there are many other European men that agree. Okay, if you don't want to have a child, okay, we love each other. Okay, it's okay. But you see, because that lady had been raised in a family where pain is seen as something negative. Where love is supposed to be just all these pleasant things. Love is supposed to be all about happiness. Love is supposed to be all about enjoyment, pleasure, and all that. If that is the kind of idea that you have about love, you are deceiving yourself. Because your life is going to end up with so much pain that is much worse than the pain you are running away from initially. So to raise up a child, like the Western countries are now telling people that don't ever beat your child, don't ever punish your child, don't ever inflict pain on the child and all that. I tell you, I don't need to prophesy. I foresee a Europe and America, any country where that doctrine is being implemented, that never beat a child. Wait, the Bible is a book of wisdom. If the Bible says don't spare a rod, if the Bible says punish a child, rebuke a child, smack a child if necessary, cane a child if necessary. If the Bible says that never spare a rod, never spare punishment, inflict pain if necessary, not to inflict pain like too much, but symbolic at least to, just let that child knows that because you love him or you love her, you must correct him and you must punish him or her when necessary. Now, what will happen in Europe in the next 100 years? Europe will be so weak. Their people will be so weak. The people who will be living in Europe here, the people who have been raised up like that, not to be punished, not to endure punishment, not to endure pain, what will happen is that they will all be running away from hard work. They will be running away from difficult, painful enterprises or painful activities. And anything that is painful, anything that is not pleasant to them, they will be avoiding it. And you cannot build a great country without pain. Even though European countries and Western countries are already great, but they will begin to decline with a speed that you would not imagine. Because a life that is void of pain will end up in prison. Those children will begin to end up in prison because they want to have things easy. And when you want to have things easy, you begin to steal. Corruption will take over. Crime will take over. You begin to steal. You want to go through the simple way. Or you just want to avoid all the difficult things and you become softy. So the society will become a soft society. And you know, in life, only they that strive and compete win. If you don't want to even compete, how can you win? If you don't want to strive, how can you ever win in a race? And this world is a world of competition. Many countries are going to overtake those European countries where they don't believe in pain and where they don't believe in discipline, or where they don't believe in inflicting pain or in beating a child, where they are thinking that punishment or pain for the child is bad. So those children will grow up in their next generation, and the generation that will come after them. What will happen is that they will be running away from hard work. They will be too weak to fight. They will be too weak to confront opposition. Those countries will be overtaken by other countries. And that is already happening. Do you know that statistics have said that the fastest the fastest people who become millionaires in Europe, in England, in Germany, maybe not Germany, I don't know Germany, but in England and America, the people who become, the fastest number of people who become millionaires are immigrants. Immigrants, why? Because they work harder. Immigrants, why? Because they are ready to go through any amount of suffering. They are ready to go through any amount of pain to be able to get their success. But the local people, the Americans and the Europeans and the English people who are born there, they are struggling. They don't have the success that the immigrants have. Why? Because the immigrants are familiar with pain where they are coming from. They are familiar with difficulties. And so whatever difficulty they are encountering and they are having in the West is nothing for them compared to the difficulties that they went through in where they are coming from. So their difficulties has molded them to be able to pass through any situation and be able to pay any price. In fact, I saw a statistic that says that out of 10 millionaires now in America and in England, out of 10, 8 of them were not born in America. 8 of them were not born in those countries where they live. 8 of them were either born in another country and they came over here, or their parents came over there. So you see, that is already what I'm talking about. You know, people from other countries are already overtaken. Why? Because they are used to intensive life. They are used to painful life. They are used to disciplined life. But if we now have that understanding and we entertain that understanding that says that love is just pleasure and love is only making another person pleasant, we are destroying our own country. Now, it's one thing if this happens to one person or two people. Can you imagine this happening to the whole country? I mean, for example, I don't live in Germany, but I have many, we have churches in Germany. So I used to have a Bible school in Germany that was having 300, 400 students. And we have churches there. Do you know what I discovered in Germany? The people that we have in our church, most of our church members are coming from the former Soviet Union, but there are also local Germans there. Germans now, we know Germans are very hard working, very hard, strong people. But this new generation of Germans that are growing, they are so weak. If you are a foreigner now, it's easier for you to go to have a breakthrough, not just in Germany, but in everywhere. It's easier for you as a foreigner to have a breakthrough and to forge ahead, stronger than many Europeans now, because they have been raised up weak. And that's why many of the African women they cannot even imagine marrying I'm sorry for that, but they will not marry some European men because they say they are too weak. You see, because of the way they are being brought up, especially the men. Men are being brought up like girls, and they are not competitive anymore. So the whole society is going to collapse sooner or later. That is why I'm going back to Africa, because the future is in Africa. Because in fact, I will be the first one to admit to you, if I had not been born in Africa, if I had not gone through all the difficulty and the pain that I went through, there is no way I would have been doing what I'm doing today, and there is no way I would have become what I am today. But now, having said that, I also want to say that even people from Africa, you might not be bringing up your children this way, maybe, but some people are bringing their children up this way as well. But let's leave the one of children alone and the wrong understanding of love in family. Let's talk about the wrong understanding of love in relationships. Now, that is another problem. Between husband and wife, or between a man and a woman, a lot of people also have bought into this idea that if you love me, you must always do what pleases me. That is a wrong understanding of love. In fact, I have discovered that many people that I try to love and many people that I try to show love to, even though I love them, but I'm more interested, first of all, in helping them get ahead in life. I am more interested in their progress than in their comfort. But you know what I've discovered? I've discovered that, especially women, that people want you to display love for them in terms of pleasure, pleasantness, joy, happiness. Just make me happy. You see, that just make me happy mindset about love is a wrong understanding of love. It's a wrong understanding of love. So, for example, if I come to somebody that I really love and admire so much, and I say, I used to have a secretary like that. Okay, in the morning, for example, I come to the office, I see her, she looks great, she has this very good hairstyle, what they call cosmetics, and I tell her, let's say, Clara, you look great today, you looking great. She said, oh, thank you. So the next 10 minutes or 20 minutes, she comes to the office and I see her. She's all happy and excited. Okay. I said, why are you so happy? Oh, you gave me compliment today. You said something good about me. Good. Okay. Keep it up. Then maybe an hour later or 2 hours later, the work she's supposed to do, she messes up, or she didn't do the work well. And I begin to scold her and I say, why should you do such a bad job? What is the problem? Go and correct it. Then, 5 minutes later, I'm passing by. Where is the happy girl? Where is the happy girl? Where is the girl that was just happy just 1 hour ago? No more happiness. She's now crying somewhere, hiding. What's the problem? No problem. No problem. Why are you crying? No, everything's okay. You see, because... So then later on, the other secretary is coming. I say, oh, what did you do to her? Did you rebuke her? I corrected her. Oh, wow, she's so sad now. So 5 minutes ago, she was happy because I said, compliment that she looks beautiful. And 5 minutes later, just because I corrected her, she's now sad. She's now sad and I am now bad. 5 minutes ago, I was the best guy. I was the best person. Now, I'm horrible because I corrected her. You see, that is the problem with people who have been brought up to think that love means making you pleasant all the time. That love means doing something to you that is according to what you want. You see, that is the problem. That is the problem. We cannot, and that has broken down a lot of families. A lot of families have been destroyed because of this. That is an animalistic level of living. That is an instinctive level of living. Is the animal level of living. When your mood and your happiness depends on what somebody else said or didn't say. When your expectations are what are determining your behavior. So it is the wrong understanding of love. So if you are married in such a situation, so your husband should never dare to tell you the truth. Because if your husband tries to tell you the truth, you will be angry. You will think he doesn't love you. How could you build a family that way? You see, many people think love only has to be pleasant. Make me pleasant or you don't love me. If you love me, you will never make me painful. No. Love will be different sometimes, because what matters really is the motive. So if the motive of the heart of the person is to help you, and you know what I do with people is this. I personally, I say, I love you, but I'm going to help you change. You say, let me say something here. Who really loves you? Is it the person that is always caring for your joy, for your happiness, for your pleasure, that is always doing what you want them to do and keep you happy and everything is excited, but is seeing your faults, seeing your weaknesses and never tells you about them? Is that the person that really loves you? Or is the person that could keep you happy, could make you feel good, but is telling you about your problems, about your issues, and correcting you and helping you to overcome them? Who really loves you? Well, you guys, you know the answer. But I will tell you this, that the person that is only patting you in the back, the person that is only telling you what you want to hear, the person that is only relating to you according to your own terms, that is not the person that loves you. But the person that will sit you down and make you go through breaking and break you and open your eyes and tell you that you need to change, that you need to change that this and this is wrong, this and this is not right, and make you to go through pain. That person is the one that loves you more. How do I say this? Okay, let me try to use another language, another construction here. Love will not only care about your comfort. Love does not really care about your comfort. Love cares about your formation. Okay. Let me say that in a different way. So love does not just care about your comfort. Love cares more about your formation than it cares about your comfort. Next point. Love is not interested as such in your feel good, in your feeling good, or in your feel good attitude, as much as is interested in your change. Love will be more interested in your change than in your feelings. Somebody who really loves you will be more interested in making sure that you change and you become a better person than in your feel good, in your feelings. So if your dad or your mom really loves you, it will be, banging on you to change, to become a better person. It will be correcting you all the time, rather than just making you, you don't like it. They don't want you to feel pain. That is not love. If they really love you, they will make you to cry. They will make you to feel pain, even if you are an adult. Unfortunately, I have come to discover that a lot of people, they just want you to give them pleasantry. They just want you to make them feel good. They just want you to love them according to their own terms. Those are wrong understanding of love. You cannot just love people according to their own terms. If you really care for them, you will love them, in a way that it will improve them and make them better. So when I see those kind of relationships, I cut them off. I put a gap. I know that the person is not interested in change. That person is not interested in me. He's not seeing me as a means of blessing to him. He's seeing me as a means of Coca-Cola love, or chocolate love, or sweet potato kind of love. I mean, it's not the real genuine love. Real, genuine love will give you both the pleasant part and it will give you the painful part as well, just to make you better. Let me tell you this. Someone who loves you will not just be your cheerleader. Love is not always meaning that the person will always be your cheerleader. Someone that really loves you will sometimes be your cheerleader, but sometimes that person will also stress you. We need stressing if we really need to understand love. So, but the wrong understanding of love will say, if you're making me to stress, or if you are making me to feel pain, or if you are doing something that I don't like, it means you don't love me. And especially women say that a lot. I mean, now, I am very romantic. And I am a believer in telling people how much you love them. So I teach my members here that they must tell their wives, you know, how much they love them. I mean, they love them, and you will let her know you love her all the time. As a matter of fact, I say, as a matter of principle, you must tell your wife between 3 to 5 times a day how much you love her. In different ways. But that notwithstanding, I am more interested in your change, or in people's change, and than in their, you know, in their feelings. So even in a family, yeah, you know, family is all about feeling most of the time, but still, if you really love each other, you will learn to speak the truth to each other. So love is not about being your cheerleader or somebody who is clapping for you all the time. Love is about truth. Love is about truth as well. Love is about change. It's about trying to help you become better and trying to help you change to become a better person. That is what love is about. Love is not about just making you feel good all the time. So that is another aspect of the wrong understanding of love. If you are the type that thinks that your husband or your friends should only be praising you, if you think that your husband or your friends should only be praising you, then you know, you are going to have a lot of pain. You are going to have a lot of pain because they will not pay you. They will not praise you all the time. They will let you know where you could change and where you could become better. So if your child is telling you that you should only be praising him or praising her, that child, you know, is going to be living in deception. So just, you know, love is not just about praising you. Love sometimes is about correcting you. Love sometimes is about, you know, disciplining you actually. So, you know, the wrong understanding of love is, you know, that, you know, you should only make me pleasant. Do only things that are pleasant to me. I'm sorry. Or tell me only compliments. Tell me only things that are beautiful. And, you know, so funny when people think that love never inflicts pain. Wow, you think so? Love has a lot of pain. Love could have a lot of pain. I mean, can you imagine how much pain Jesus had to go through? For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, Jesus, that he would die for us. I mean, he died for us. He went through so much pain to demonstrate love. Love means a lot of pain. Love means a lot of pain sometimes, because love includes correction. Love includes change, and that is with a lot of pain. That comes with a lot of pain. So if you say that if you love me, you will never make me feel pain. If you love me, you will never, you know, make me feel bad. That is living in deception and living in self-illusion, living in delusion, actually. That is self-delusion. It's delusionary. You know, love is the ability to be able to take correction, to be able to receive correction, to be able to change, and to be able to walk to, you know, to believe that somebody loves you, and if you know that that's your father, or that's your mother, or that's your friend, and you really believe in that love, you would never think that that person, I mean, it's just like somebody was telling me the other day, my mother wants to kill me. I said, why do you think your mother wants to kill you? Oh, I had a dream. I said, so what are the actions that has proved to you that your mother is a witch? Because that's what she was saying. Oh, well, no action. Oh, she's always been good to me. She's always been nice. She sent me to school. She gave her life for me. She did everything for me. And then you want to believe this dream? Oh, yeah, because I told the dream to some prophet. They said, oh, that means she's a witch. She wants to... I said, action speaks louder than all this, your dreams and prophets. If your mother, has demonstrated to you how much she loves you all her life, how come you ever believe that she wants to kill you? You see, people who have demonstrated to us their love, they have the right to also correct us. People who have demonstrated to us how much they love us, people who have shown us, who have opened their hearts to us, we should believe them. We should believe more in good than in evil. But unfortunately, of course, some of us, because of our mindset or because of wherever we're coming from, well, maybe because of our bad experience or past experiences, we find it difficult to believe that somebody could be making me feel painful and still love me. Like, for example, one of the secretaries that I had, she was telling me, yeah, Pastor, I understand in my head that you don't hate me, that you love me, but whenever I feel pain or whenever you say something to correct me, I still feel pain. And I can't understand, I can't put that together, that somebody who loves me will make me feel pain. Well, that pain you are feeling does not necessarily mean the pain of hate. That pain you are feeling might be the pain of challenge, the pain of change, the pain of, the pain of change, the pain of truth. And those kind of pain sometimes are necessary for you to become a better person. If you don't endure that kind of pain, what you should make sure that you have at the back of your mind is that I know this person wants the best for me. I know this person wants the best for me. But once you begin to think that, oh, this person hates me, or this person doesn't love me, or this person is making me feel pain, if you begin to think that pain means hate, or pain means that they don't love you, or pain means that people hate you, then you put yourself in a dangerous place, because you begin to lose relationship with the people who love you most. You begin to lose relationship with people who care for you most. I mean, can you imagine that lady? Because she had a dream, and she has believed that if I have a dream that my mother wants to kill me, it means that, and my prophet had said that your mother is a witch, it means that is true. So being delusional, people become delusional when they begin to think that anything painful, anything negative is bad. So this person now is about to lose the relationship with her mother. She's about to lose the relationship with her mother that was there for her all her life, that did everything for her just because of some delusional thoughts that she's having. And those kind of delusional thoughts make us to think that anybody that says something or does something that I don't like, or that makes me to feel any form of pain, or that does not behave the way I expect him to behave, or how I expect her to behave, that person is my enemy, or that person hates me. It's so sad, because that way we could lose relationship with some of the most destiny-defining individuals in our lives. I mean, can you imagine another guy who is a boy that I also spoke to, he cut relationship with his mother, just because he thinks that the mother is the one responsible for all his failures in life. I mean, and this is a grown-up guy. He's a pastor. And he will not relate to his parents, to his mother, because he thinks that, and the mother is fasting and praying and, doing everything, sponsoring him, and he will not talk to her. Just because of some delusional thoughts, making you to think that somebody is against you just because their understanding of love, their action does not fall in your own understanding of love. It's a horrible thing. Wrong understanding of love could be disastrous. The wrong understanding of love could be disastrous. So when you begin to think that anybody who does anything against your wish is against you, sooner or later you are going to be treating God like that. You begin to look at God and say, okay, God doesn't love you because he allows pains to come to your life. And that God doesn't love you because he allows trouble to come to your life, or he allows something bad to happen to you. When we begin to think like that, sooner or later you begin to hate God also, because God will allow some bad things to happen in your life. God will allow some painful things to happen in your life. As a matter of fact, God will even punish you. And that is all because he loves you, you see. So the Bible tells us in Hebrews 12, the Bible says, and you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to sons. My son, do not despise the punishment of the Lord, the chastening of the Lord. The Bible said, don't despise the chastening of the Lord. Don't despise the punishment of God. So God punishes people. God chastises people. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked by him. God will correct us. God will rebuke us when necessary. So the fact that you get angry doesn't change the mind of God. And when I begin to relate to people and I begin to try to correct them and I try to make them better and they get angry, I just walk out. I just know that they are not ready to change. I just know that they are not prepared yet. They are not ready to change. They don't need me yet. They don't value the love. They have their own understanding of love, and because of that, they are not ready to receive real love. So he says, my son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are being rebuked by him. If God will rebuke the people he loves, if God will rebuke the son he loves, if God will chasten the child and the son that he loves, we are supposed to do the same thing. We are also supposed to correct the people we love. We are supposed to correct and chasten and discipline and even beat the children we love. And it's not just about children and sons relationship. In any kind of relationship, the people who love you, love will be direct enough to correct you. Love will be loving enough to speak the truth to you. Love will be loving and caring enough to let you know what you are doing wrong. And love will be more interested in your change, in your improvement, in your development than in your comfort. So for whom the Lord loves, he chastens and scourges every son whom he receives. If you endure chastening, God deals with you as with sons. You see, God only punishes people that God loves. Only God chastens or disciplines only his own sons. For what son is there whom a father does not chasten? But if you are without chastening, of which all, if you are without punishment, if you are without correction, if you are without chastening or punishment, then you are not a son. The Bible says you are an illegitimate son. You are an illegitimate son. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect nevertheless. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and life? For they indeed for a few days chastened us, as seemed best to them, but if for our profit, God always punishes us and chastens us for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now, no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. Yes, it's painful when you are being corrected. You see, there is pain in love. So the Bible is telling us here that the son that God loves, God corrects, God chastens, God rebukes, God punishes. And he also admits here that, yes, it is painful. Punishment could be painful. Chastening could be painful. The punishment from God could be painful as well. But it is an expression of love. So there is pain in love sometimes. And, pain could be inflicted on you not because of hatred, but out of love. But some people think pain can never be together with love. And that is deception. But painful, nevertheless, afterwards it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. But so fruits, good fruits of maturity is only from the people who have been used to the pain of rebuke, of chastening, of punishment. If you are not used to punishment for being corrected, if you are not used to correction, you will never bring forth fruits. Only people who are used to be corrected bring forth fruits in their lives. They bring forth fruits. Oh, wow. Our time is up. Our time is up so fast. Well, let me hear your comments. If you have not yet shared the link for this program, let's go ahead and share it. Let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share the link for this program, please. Let's go ahead and share the link to this program. You see the link, the share button under your video somewhere. Look under your video. You are supposed to see a share button. Let's go and press that, and also write a comment or two. Let's write a comment or a remark on Deep's message, what we think about it. Let's write it on the share as we share the message. So go and press share. Go and press the share button and write your opinion, what you think about this message. And let it be a blessing to you and to somebody else, that you could watch it over and over again. And other people will be able to watch it in your, they'll be able to watch it as well. So let's go ahead and hear your opinion. Let's go ahead and hear your opinion about this message. Jen Ragovsky says they call it hard love. Yep. Yeah, some people call it tough love. Tough love. I think they call it tough love, but it's love nevertheless. It's love nevertheless. Olukemi says, yes, it is tough love when we love people by telling them the truth. Olushe, you said, preaching love. God is love. Nice one. Titi Showemimo said, a lovely message. Thanks, sir. Nkiru says, no pain, no gain. Unfortunately, we want to gain without pain. Some people want to do that. Shigo, okay. Thanks for the message, Pastor Sunday. Blessing to you. Emma says, I have done that because people must watch this message I've shared. Yetunde said, if you feel pain cannot be in love, that is deception of the highest order, right? Adeleke said, another lovely teaching this morning. Thank you, sir. Ife Oma, I was late today, okay. Emanuela, love is more interested in your change than your comfort, right? Well, look how they said that's on point. Mabel says, God bless you, Pastor Sunday, for these great teachings. You are teaching nothing but the truth. Adeleke said, love is all-rounder. Nkiro Jimadu says, some women also that think that this is extreme. They say, if my husband doesn't beat me, he doesn't love me. Ooh, wow. Some women take this to the extreme. No, beating, that is already abuse. There is a difference between punishment or between chastisement and abuse, but that is an abuse already. Yetunde said, let us share this and tag a friend in this inbox and also invite them to this platform. That is what Yetunde is advising us to do. Emanuela said, to understand love, you must understand God. So if God would treat us this way, it means that real life real love demands that we treat people like God does. Fumi Jaboda, true love should be painful at times for growth. Thanks, sir, for this message. Vlad Maximovich, speak the truth. Thank you, speaking the truth. Jen Ragovsky said, great program. Tayo Stephen, if you are from Nigeria and wants the downloaded message for free, text or WhatsApp me, and he's giving his telephone number. Thank you. Vlad Maximovich says, very appreciated. Thank you. Angela Paul said, this message is expository. My mom is my #1 complimenter and also my #1 corrector. I have no doubt of her love for me. Beautiful. Titi Showemimo, morning everyone. Have a blessed day and take care of your mothers if you still have them. And remember, God does love you, so he must chastise you. Heavenly principle. Marble, love without discipline for the fear of hurt will lead to danger ahead later in life. Yes? Livio said, truly needed this. I am going to embrace pain to change for the better. Beautiful. Gregory Femi, thanks for the message, Pastor Sunday. Emma Shooks, a wonderful message, sir. I was trained with love, but not with pampering or clapping for me when I'm wrong. And I must train my children the same way. Thanks, sir. Pearl David. Okay, she's writing to Betty right here. Beatty. Prudence Ngafo. Message is so teaching. Massage is so, message is teaching at all levels. In homes, marriage, churches, it is a food for action. You are so inspiring. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Bosco say, pure and true love. Thank you, sir. Comfort Ekundayo. Many people hate love, or hate true love, but if you really love, you will accept it. Tena, Dr. Adelaja, thank you very much. More and more blessing to you. Princess say, Chai, Pastor, I love to be pampered, sir. I love to be pampered. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. But also, after you have been pampered, you must also be receptive to correction as well. And even if that correction is painful. Jen Ragovsky said, okay, talking to Pearl David. Noel, I'm most delighted for this message. Can't explain my joy. Thanks, Beatty. Thanks, Pearl. Now, Christabel and I can get better even as I chastise her. But, you know, as a wife, as a husband, you don't just think that you are the only one to chastise your wife. I don't think that chastising a wife is appropriate. You don't need to chastise your wife. You need to correct her in love, and you need to correct her by by explaining to her what is happening and by letting her see your mindset. If you say you want to chastise your wife, then you should be ready for her to chastise you as well. It's not just one way. It is two ways. It is two ways. So if you want to chastise your wife, then you must also be ready to be chastised by her. So chastising is not the way. It's just telling the truth is the way. So I'm not in agreement with husband sitting their wives down and saying they're chastising them. No, that's not. It doesn't work like that in a marriage. In a marriage, the way it works is just by opening up to each other, listening to each other, and getting to know each other's opinion or each other's thoughts. about that particular incident that's going on. So I don't think that husbands have right to treat their wives like school children or like school pupils. Because the thing that we are reading right there with God in Hebrews chapter 12 that I just read is about son and father. It's about father-son relationship. That's a little bit different from partner's relationship between husband and wife. When it comes to husband and wife, it's not the same as father and son. So you can chastise your children or people who you are higher than, but when it comes to husband and wife, you talk, you speak, you exchange thoughts, and you bring out understanding. But you don't sit your wife down and begin to chastise her or correct her or rebuke her. That will be abuse. That will be abuse. Or punish her. If you can do that to your wife, then it means your wife can do that to you as well, because you are partners. Vlad says, thank you for this message. I get chastised by the church for correcting people out of love. This really encouraged me. Thank you for the message. Niyo Lushola, open rebuke out of love is better than withholding rebuke due to love. Withholding needed rebuke makes hypocrisy out of love. Pearl David, pure love exists in discipline. It has to be done with wisdom and the motive of the person's future or formation, or basically the love of God. To do it for any other reason is wickedness. Okay, gift blessing. This thought I will put into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name. Okay, that's the scriptures there. That is right. Kemi Phillips, thanks for this wonderful message, Pastor. This is an eye-opener. So many parents are so scared to correct their children here in the UK because of the social services. God help us. Kennedy Festus, the person who loves you corrects you most. More grace. Ajayi Amaka, thanks so much for this message, Pastor. I was trained in pain, which has stepped me up in greatness. Comfort, this truth you are teaching us to change us in all areas of life. People that hate correction will not come to this platform. Thank you, Pastor. Okay, Noel is saying, Noel Okushuku say, Christabel is my daughter. Oh, sorry. I thought Christabel was your wife. Sorry, but I think somebody needed to hear that. I think it was not by accident that God allowed me to make that assumption. Maybe somebody needed to hear that, because I know I'm a pastor, so I'm an experienced pastor, and I know there are some husbands who believe in lecturing their wives. And I just wanted the husbands to know that they don't have the right to sit down their wives and be lecturing them. They must talk to them in love and, just let them understand. So I didn't know Christabel is your daughter. Sorry for that. Victoria said, Pastor, please teach submission, sir. Teach whom submission? You mean I should teach women submission or men submission? I'm not teaching about marriage yet. What I'm teaching on right now is just principles. One day I will get to teaching on marriage and relationship, and that is not now. This is just about love in general. Titi Showemimo said, this is a very balanced teaching. Lovely. Pearl David, Pastor, true love is using your left hand to correct a person, and then after the sting, using the right hand to show them how to fix the bad behavior. That's so true. But another thing is this. Before you use your right hand or your left hand to correct or beat, to chastise, I have a principle. My own principle is this. Before you inflict pain one time, make sure that before you beat one time or before you correct one time, before you beat or inflict pain or spank one time, make sure that you have done 10 compliments before. Make sure that you have loved, you have shown the act of love 10 times more than that correction. So if you have loved the person about 10 times ahead, then it opens the door of trust whereby you'll be able to correct the person one time. So it must be, the ratio must be 10 to 1, 10 to 1. 10 compliments to 1 punishment. Okay, Noel says, my wife's name is Helene. Christabel is my daughter. Okay, I got it. Princess says, husband and wife have equal rights. Yes. Charles Ushe, thank you so much, Pastor, for this balanced message, sir. Thanks for shedding light on the difference between different kinds of relationships, sir. Very enlightening, Pastor. Balanced teaching without any prejudice. Oluwa Fumilayo says, God bless you, sir. More anointing to teach. Ugo Emeka said, you are so balanced in this teaching that I am grateful. I love you, Pastor Sunday. Janet says, partners in love, husband and wife. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yetunde says, the best thing that could happen to anyone after knowing God is to be on this platform. That's, for me, it's a rebirth. And I appreciate and love you so much, Dr. Adelaja. You have no idea what you do to me spiritually on a daily basis. I always thought that my hubby doesn't love me when he chastises me on certain things. Now I get to understand that he loves me even more than I could imagine. Thank you so much. Janet says, this is so balanced. Paul David, okay, he's talking to General Rogowski. Janet John, my father will say, if you love me, you will keep my commandment. Many people thought that my father is a military man before. Ola Yinka Sheung, you are a blessing to our generation, Pastor Sunday. Very balanced teaching. We love you, sir. Formulayo says, I disagree that people can't correct their children in UK for any reason. My parents just have that fear. Many parents just have that fear because we in Africa are a bit harsh on our attempt. Children can be corrected in many ways. Okay. Afolabi says, correction is a structured message that addresses the issue, not insulting the personality. That is so true. Correcting is not demeaning, but instructive to stop the wrong issue. Very good. Jesus rebuked Satan and Peter. That is love, rightly correcting, right? Pro David says, everyone on this platform, I congratulate you because coming to this platform is a testament to the fact that Pastor loves us. When Pastor says, I will give you points, I swallow big saliva because Pastor is about to chastise us in the name of the Father. And we go about doing better and great things because he shows us how to live it practically. Fund for that we keep coming back. For that we keep coming back. And for that we keep coming back. Okay. Princess says, I just love this, my new Dr. Adelaja School of Knowledge. I am really liking your swags. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Gift says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these men were thrown into a fiery fire when they refused to bow to idol. My point is this: God washed them until they were thrown into that fire. Is that motivates God to come down to save them. John Ragowski, thank you so much for your kind words. Yetunde, great and liberating message all the time here on this platform. Thanks, sir. I'm proud of my Omoile. More grace. By the way, I need to call you, right? Or maybe you call me back today. We need to talk, Yetunde. Fumilayo, I love the way you explain the relationship between man and his wife. Thank you, Pastor. Taiwo says, sir, how do you explain if the chastising and correction is greater than compliment? You need to 10 to 1. Yes, I said 10 to 1 because, we all, that's just life. We love to be, we love more pleasant things than painful things. And for somebody to be able to be receptive to your correction, for somebody not to be repulsive and to be angry at your correction, you first of all need to prove your love to them. So the ratio of 10 to 1 is actually proving to those people, to that person, that you love them, you love him, that the punishment is not out of hatred. And I think that brings some form of balance in their receptivity of your relationship with them. Olukayo says, I do flog my 5-year-old son when he exhibits foolishness. He hugs me the next minute because he understands why he was spanked. Love should correct. Afolabi said, I once flogged my daughter and she said to me, a good father does not beat their children, that Jesus did not beat his disciples. So I told her it is documented in the Bible, and she asked me to show her. You know what? I had to go search for that scripture to show her. And when I did, the matter was settled. She is 6. I told her I'm not helping her if I refuse to punish her. Bolaji, bless you, sir. Your fountain will never run dry. Thank you. Abo said, dear Roberts, good morning, everyone. I came late. Ooh, wow. Une Diogo say, my pastor, more grace. Thank you. Jen Ragovsky said, you are the best pastor alive. Wow, thank you. Ernest Ebong says, this platform is a university of understanding, knowledge, and self-discovery. Thank you, Pastor, for allowing the Lord to use you to impact this generation through this platform. Pearl Davis says, people are very sensitive. You have to verbalize the love. You have to let them know the wrongdoing or the standard, because you don't want to just chastise and kill their dignity. That's why compliments help reduce the stench. Yeah. And that's why the ratio of 10 to 1. All right, guys. I think we had a nice time. We'll continue in the evening. I will see you in the evening. Evening is 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. British time, and 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and 2 p.m. U.S. time, and 8 p.m. European time. So see you in the evening, guys. Blessings. Bye.